When I went to undergrad, I focused on communications, law, economics, and government, and realized quickly that I didn't want to go into government and didn't want to go into politics. And so realized that I needed to kind of refine my skills. And I was doing marketing, I was doing business type stuff, and realized, I need to get the hard skills to kind of really take me to the next level. And so what I decided on was, I looked into all sorts of programs and schools, and I really wanted to continue working at the same time. And looking at Smith, I had found out, I knew that they were the best in the area from a MBA program perspective. And what I discovered through a friend was that they actually had a part-time program, which was very appealing to me. And again, discovered that not only was the part-time program available in Maryland, but also in Washington, D.C. And I lived in Washington, D.C., and I thought, wow, that is just perfect. I could do my part-time MBA, and I can do it really close to home and to work. And it worked out really well. I think Smith was very focused on sort of innovation and entrepreneurship and technology, and those are all areas that I was very interested in for my own career. From a undergraduate standpoint, you're kind of just, this is the first time you're out on your own, and, you're making different friends, and you're trying to figure out, well, what do I really want to do with my life? I think when you decide to go back to grad school, you're making a very conscious decision. Oftentimes, your parents aren't paying for it anymore. Well, maybe your company is, but you really, I think, are more committed, more passionate about what you're studying, and it really becomes what you get out of it, what you put into it. And I think from a graduate perspective, it's more focused, it's more real. And what was great about the part-time program for me is that I was able to take what I was learning and apply it immediately in my job and my career. I think I said this a lot during my time at Smith, and the work that I did with the Part-Time MBA Association, and I really feel strongly that as even in undergrad, but even more importantly in graduate school and in business school, it's really about the connections that you make and the network that you create, because that's what comes back to help you as you go through your career, right? As you run into, issues at your job, having that network and that peer network to go to say, hey, I'm working on this. What are you working on? What are you thinking of? And making those connections across your the folks that you went to school with, even people before and after. One thing is, it helps you get a job, and it can help you get other people a job and find talent to build your teams in the companies that you're at. So I think, just really important is networking. And I know some people get scared of that word, networking, but it's really just about the connections and the friendships that you make, that and those strong bonds, from going through this similar experience, and over time, that's the kind of thing that will help you move forward in your career, and just in friendships. I still see a lot of my classmates, and I've hired Smith grads. I think internships are very important. I think, if you're trying to switch careers, just making sure that you're networking and doing informational interviews and taking coursework in areas that are different to what you previously, studied or worked in terms of industry. And then I think, going sort of outside your comfort zone. I think, now is sort of it's a great opportunity, not only from like the group work or from developing your presentation skills, and thinking about sort of not just the academic aspects, but the skills that you need in order to advance as an executive. So thinking about, how you present in class, how you prepare for those presentations, how you interact with others, and how you deal with conflict, how you collaborate. I think those are very important things. And then lastly, I would say, from a career perspective and for looking for that next opportunity and what you bridge off from your MBA to is, don't expect it to be handed to you. Again, going back to the network with your peers, network with other organizations, and through your internship to really get an understanding and think through what is my next step and what do I need to do in order to get there. And I think those are things that, coupled with the education and the academics that you're getting at Smith, really help catapult you to the next level. It was interesting because I went to school in Washington, D.C. because I wanted to go into politics. I was like, I'm going to be the next president. And then I got here and thought, well, gosh, I really don't want to do that. And so a lot of my internships in undergrad and the work that I did centered around business and marketing. But, I realized after graduating and after, working at CTIA and helping be a part of something that was game changing in terms of building out wireless internet, wireless data, and getting people excited about the power of mobile, then I realized that, if I really want to build things and, go into product management or business development or, entrepreneurship, that I needed that degree to help me get to the next level. And so I, had done the research. I had considered a JD MBA, and then thought, what am I crazy? I'm going to do that while working. It'll take me, forever. And realized that what I really, really was passionate about was the business aspect of building new things and really cool, interesting, industry. And so I decided that in order for me to kind of make that leap and go to that next level, that I needed the degree. And was thankful that Smith had a part-time program in DC, so it worked out really well. And I mean, I have to say, it really has delivered on the promise.